This is for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson, and this is For the Players, the pop culture PlayStation podcast. Over 40 years of playing PlayStation and 8+ years in that games media combined. We thought we'd throw a hat into the ring and join that PlayStation conversation. And this PlayStation conversation happens every Monday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and 8 a.m. and on podcast services. And if you like what we do, be sure to head over to the Facebook community group and Twitter and Instagram and all the other social medias where we tend to hang out and do lots of talking about the things. This is not how Josh does the spiel. I'm floundering here. I'm drowning. But if you want to show your love of pop cultures on your body, head to popcultures.com/shop where you can buy shirts like this and other assorted items like phone cases and whatnot. And if you really like what we do, head over to patreon.com/popculturists where you get a ton of really cool perks, including a special link to watch us live as we record like right now. And we are on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturists. Now, I know the some of you that are watching on the YouTubes, you're looking and you're saying, Josh, you've gotten taller, you've gotten bigger glasses, and you've gained less hair on your head, you gained more hair on your head and less hair on your face. Jokes. It's Jono Pech from 8-Bit and Puttin in work.
Well, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Josh, for vacating the chair.
Yeah, you'll have to remove the Josh Aston.
Yeah, well, it's usually a bit more squashy when I'm here when there's three of us, but
it's a bit nicer when there's only
nice,
two.
A bit more room to breathe.
But how you been, man?
Fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Things are going well. Been playing lots of fun games and pumping out some cool content over with 8-Bit, so yeah. And
yeah, be sure to go check out Puttin in Work, which we recommend it all the time anyway. But you've got a bunch. You've got a dude from Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
You've got
Scott Lowe from Naughty Dog.
All the founding members of Kind of Funny.
Yes.
You got me.
This guy.
You got Paris.
Had
who's
Paris,
my buddy
yes,
from
good old
Genu
Paris
Gamer.
Conti.
Yeah, you've got so Ash from SMG, who funny enough I emailed like a week before the show went up because I talked to him about Genu Gamer and how Death Squared is fantastic for what we do.
I can imagine, yeah.
So yeah, I was like, oh, that's one who Jono's Nick. Get the fuck out! Yeah. All right, sweet.
Small world, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like you've been kicking its ass over there.
Yeah, it's been a good year for Puttin in Work. It's year 2, and it's been, I had some really good guests last year, but I think I've been a bit more consistent with it this year. And I'm glad to see that people seem to be enjoying it. So that's really cool. And PAX is right around the corner. A lot planned for PAX. If I play my cards right, I'll have like enough interviews to last the rest of the year. Just
shake
about.
the right hand, kiss the right babies. You know.
Yeah, but it's been a lot of work, pun intended, I guess, to just line up all those interviews and try and find people who are going to be at the convention and who's going to be available. So hopefully we can get the times right and make those happen, because there's going to, it's the who's who of the Australian games biz, so it's the best chance to catch a lot of people that are a bit harder other times of the year.
Well, that's it, and your schedule is noticeably busier than last year because you're actually doing some panels.
Yeah.
What are the times and what are the panels?
So we have the Audio Technica Before You Go Live panel with Matt from Audio Technica, Brendan from the Hungry Gamers, and I think we may have another panelist involved with that. It's kind of like basically giving our takes on audio gear, equipment, video, all the kinds of stuff you need to know before you start streaming or podcasting or whatever it might be. So hopefully we can get a few people along to that. That's at 3:30 on Saturday. And then we have the Mario Tennis Aces, whatever it's called, Invitational. Obviously, I have not played this game yet, so I might need to borrow your Switch after this. And that's a contest between a bunch of different streamers and podcasters on the Sunday at, I think, 4:30. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. The Before You Go Live is like half an hour after the Bethesda trivia one that Pete Hines will be at. So if you're there at the Galar Theatre, just
hang out.
Keep your butt in that seat for us. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, no, we're personally big fans here of Audio Technica what are they called? Tech. 'Cause we've got we've got 3 2020s in here. I've got the MX50s headset. Love them.
They do good work.
Yeah, no. When we were looking at, we used to wear like lapel mics and shit, and then we're like, nah, we need more ground and we need some better quality shit, and we saw these and had to jump on them.
Oh, you were wearing lapels for this show?
Yeah, we used to do like we used to old PopC stuff, but we've had these since day one of FTP.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we're big fans, and yeah, the new headphones. Ah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Use them for gaming?
Yeah, man, I use them for everything. I use them for this sounds like a shameless plug, and it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. I use them like the reason I bought them, other than a traditional headset, like I had the Razer Manowar, which, you know, with a gaming headset, always janked in bass. So it kind of made it hard to use for anything else than gaming.
Right.
But with the 50Xs, I use them to listen to records, podcasts, games, you name it. I can plug a headphone jack into it. Those headphones go in.
Yeah. It's good, yeah. I'm much the same with my Audio-Technica headphones. I've got a couple different versions, and yeah, whatever I want to use them for, they certainly do the job, and they do it very well.
Yeah, the clarity astounds me. Like not in like a selling point way, but in more of a. I've had other headphones, and headphones from the outside look exactly the same. I don't know how the innards work. I'm like, how does it do better than the other one that looks identical? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, they know what they're doing.
That's it.
It's a Japanese company, so you know you can trust it.
That's the thing. But yeah, man. So one of the big things we always open the show, you would know as. Hang on, we've got Paul James smacking in the chat because we know there is that little. There's a bit of beef.
Friendly beef.
Bit of beef here between Jono and Paul James for the most returning guest on For the Players. I still think you've got it.
I'm up to number 3. I think Paul's.
You think Paul has
it?
it?
Yeah. He'll let us know if it ever changes.
Yeah, and so I was gonna, because he's jumped in the chat and gone about still number 1 guest and most occurring guest.
He's booing me.
He's booing you.
Very unsportsmanlike.
That just sounds just like Paul.
But I did say to him, pretty sure that he only got the bump this week because he's a father at the moment.
Yeah, he's with his newly fresh baby straight out of the box.
Yeah, but I've stepped up
that's
to
a
the
great
plate.
sentence.
I mean, it's accurate.
I wish I meant that. Ew. But yeah, we've been up to, man. We've been playing.
Well, I did a Mega Man 11 review, which I love Mega Man games.
It's kicking butt, by the
that
way.
Game is it's the review's done well. But I love that game. And
YouTube.com/8bit.
We are 8bit.
We are 8bit.
ATEBIT. Been playing heaps of NBA 2K. That's been a lot of fun. Spider-Man, obviously. I just got a code for Chasm, so I've been playing some of that on the PS Vita.
Oh, nice.
Relevant to this show. That's like a 2D Metroidvania pixel art.
Yeah, that was the one that dropped just before Dead Cells, yeah?
Around that time, I believe, yeah. And it was something that has been in the works for a number of years. Indie dev company called Kidbit, I think. Or BitKid, sorry. That I can't remember right now, but yeah, there was a lot of hype around it in the indie space. You know, I'm sure Seamus Mullins would have been following that for some time, but they finally announced the release date and it dropped like a couple of weeks later. Paul James reviewed it himself over at player2.net. As he's telling us in the chat.
Man, we're just spruiking everything today.
Yeah. All about those shout outs to the rising tide helps all boats.
That's it.
Floats all boats. And you've been doing a lot of collaborating yourself lately, which has been cool to see.
I have, man. Yeah.
The 8-bit crew. Yeah,
no, because like we were all buddies with you guys before. Before, especially when you and Jack jumped over, and same as Buddy. So like now that I'm friends with you guys, I'm doing a lot more stuff with like Dash as well. You know, you and us, we're all part of the Community Awards coming later this year.
Oh yeah. Dash Gamers.
Yeah, Dash Gamers Community Awards.
Yeah, plugging everything.
Yeah, literally. What else can we
have
show?
You done some House of Mario?
No, I haven't done House of Mario yet. No.
But have you been on anything with Drew?
No, not yet. He has it planned.
I'm getting confused between different shows crossing over.
Yeah, there is a lot of like incestuous behavior going on.
It's beautiful,
but it's very nice. Everyone hugs. It's really cool.
It'll be great to catch up at PAX with the whole gang.
Yeah, I'm very cool to meet some people and face to face, shake hands, give them hugs and that sort of stuff. I have once people I'm like, look, I'm a hugger. I am. Yeah. So like I know we've never spoken, we've been pretty friendly, but I'm gonna hug the shit out of you.
Yeah, try and catch him in the morning before the afternoon sweat.
You don't want that pack stank.
Yeah,
you want the early day pre stank.
You want the cologne still lingering smell.
Yeah,
of Ryan, but hey,
because it will get stanky. But yeah, no. So that's pretty much what you've been playing mostly.
That I can think of. I'm trying to think. What have you been playing? It might jog my memory. I haven't gone over to the world of COD or Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
that I missed this year.
They've been on. That's my week this week so far. I spent about 3 or so hours with Assassin's Creed. It is more of the same Assassin's Creed. Like if you loved Origins, you are gonna love this. It's really odd. I think I love Egypt and Egypt mythology, so I'm really bummed that I didn't jump into Origins as much as I did. I think that game fell into a problem of bad timing upon release. Like last year, I spent that time playing Odyssey and Wolfenstein instead, and I never went back to it because then just more shit kept coming out.
Mario Odyssey, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, sorry, Mario Odyssey, not the new Odyssey.
Yeah.
So I spent more time playing with them, and then Assassin's Creed just kind of got pushed to the side. I'm like, yeah, I'll get back to that, and I never did.
Yeah, right.
But Greek, I know a lot of Greek thanks to God of War, and
of course, not because of anything.
No, and like 300, that's about my only history there.
Sure.
So I'm enjoying it in that sense. The first thing I did was climb that giant Zeus statue and hang off its ball bag, and I'm like, yeah, I'm an adult.
According to Twitter, that's what everyone's done.
Yeah,
straight up.
Literally the first thing I did when they did that big pan.
Is there a trophy for it?
I'm going on that balls.
I feel like there should be a trophy.
Most like 99% of all players got that trophy.
Like hanging dong or something. And it's literally just like you grab on and.
But yeah, no, the game is fine. It is literally the same base systems as
I'm hearing it's
Assassin's
more
Creed.
RPG like I've heard people be comparing it to like The Witcher 3 and this kind of thing.
Yeah, but I thought that very much about Origins as well.
Okay.
Like from what I've done so far, only been a couple of hours in, I've not had the full hit of the RPG-ness yet.
Sure.
It seems pretty much sort of the standard. The only thing that, the internet's aflame right now with its microtransactions. I'm sure that'll come later in. Like that'll kind of seep its way in later on. The
your
more you play.
experience, you mean?
Yeah, it's like for me, because right now I don't feel I'm having to grind. I'm getting stuck anywhere. I'm just kind of playing through. With you playing NBA, how's that with the microtransactions this year?
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to get a code this year, so I felt like I was happy to spend a little bit on microtransactions, but it's not quite as, I guess, predatory has a really negative connotation, but that's how some people would describe it. It's not quite as much this year in terms of some of, like last year you had to pay to change your haircut and things like that. And this
that's
year,
been stripped back?
Yeah, that's been removed, but it's still there in terms of you have to spend a lot of time playing to be competitive as far as the multiplayer goes. And I feel like that's basically just par for the course with these kinds of games now. Some people don't like that. Some people won't buy it because of that, but it's, selling like hotcakes as it always does. And I think that probably the biggest issues with the microtransactions is some of the, I don't know if it's servers or other things, but people have talked about like not getting things that they've paid for, or there's like a delay sometimes, and I don't know if that's like a widespread thing or just because there's so many people playing it that you're bound to have some of those issues.
Yeah. Like in one of those things, because there's X amount of million, if it's only affecting 1%, that's still 10,000 people or whatever. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the game's really great, and I'm getting close to deciding, do I try out some of the other modes more, or do I move on to something else, or maybe just take a break before Red Dead, because it's going to swallow a lot of free time. So yeah, I mean, definitely been putting in a lot of hours into that one.
Yeah. But big thank you to Ubisoft Australia for providing us the copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But speaking of 2K-ness though, I have been balls deep in WWE 2K19.
Yeah.
Like after Super Showdown, as I mentioned this last week, like after Super Showdown, which is the big MCG wrestling, I am just in. It's like I'm 9 years old again. Yeah. It's just fucking awesome. And forgetting, now that I'm older and I really understand, like, yeah, it's scripted, it's all dumb. But then I'm like, that dude's really acrobatic. That dude's strong as shit. Yeah. How the hell did he just pick up that dude? So it's now more of it's a different kind of impressiveness now.
You understand how difficult it is.
Yeah.
To like it's when the illusion of being real is gone, it's replaced with like, oh, like it's really impressive how they can script this. Like, yeah, that's in itself pretty impressive.
And like diving into like how do they talk, during the you know how, because obviously it's key moments are somewhat scripted, like hey, I'm gonna throw you from here to here, and like noticing when they do that and like they blink or they when they get a little bit too cuddly, and I'm like, they're whispering shit.
That's why they always had long hair, so when you're bending down picking them up, it would come over your face, cover your mouth, and
it's
like a headlock. When sometimes they go into a headlock for a really long amount of time, you're like, this headlock's going on for a long time. They're talking about the next 3 or 4 moves.
And like knowing that it's fake, when they do something dope, you get blown away.
Yeah.
Like I saw on SmackDown on Thursday, because I'm not even that deep. I'm that deep. I'm watching the weekly shows now. Like I saw Charlotte Flair just rail this Becky Lynch is her name. At the end of the entrance, there's all the screens and stuff.
Sure.
She gets pelted through that shit. I'm like, you can't fake that. Like there's like, ooh, you kind of faking the arm bend there.
Yeah.
But like that, yeah. And the game is rad. Now we did receive the code from 2K Australia, so thank you very much for the team there, on the Xbox One. Now I'm playing on the Xbox One S, so it's not the fancierest one. I did find it looked a little jank. Like there are very clear very very clear models that are getting the better treatment, like your Triple H's, your Undertakers, your main guys.
Yeah.
That they're getting the most focus. When you're getting your lower, as you go lower down the rung, they look a little bit jank. But saying that, I then went and bought it on PS4 because I'm like, I want trophies and shit.
Wow.
I want trophies, and then I know that Buddy picked it up on PS4, and my friend Craig is gonna pick it up on PS4. I'm like, all right, this is where I want to be at. So
it's quite an endorsement.
It is, yeah. Like we got a free code, and then I still went and bought it.
That's rad.
And on top of that, like I forgot where I was going. Completely brain farted.
It looks better on PS4?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yes, because it is Xbox One X enhanced, so it is scalable to be really rad in 4K. But with the One S, it does have 4K, but not quite 4K. So with the PS4 Pro, it's getting that full crank up, and it just looks noticeably better. It just runs a bit smoother. Animation's a little bit better. Everything looks a little sharper. Yeah, that's real good.
Yeah. The cool thing with those games is, like, because they're games, it is real. Like, there's none of the fakeness of the TV, and like the weapons you use. At least in the old SmackDown games that I remember playing, you could just like smash someone with a baseball bat straight in the face or whatever.
Like tables, chairs.
Yeah, and like because we're probably of a different era when it comes to the WWE. There's like they've just jammed in like so many characters that if you haven't watched it for 10 years, you can still go and play Mankind and.
Mankind's like Mick Foley isn't in this one, which is heartbreaking because Mick Foley is my man.
Bad example there.
Yeah, bad example, but like
you know what I mean, like Stone Cold, The Rock.
Stone Cold's there, Rock's there. You get old Rock and new Rock, which is rad. Nice. So you can get him, not so buff and then mega buff.
Get them to play each other.
Yeah. Oh.
See who wins.
No, it's talking. But I've just dived into the actually today I just dived into the My Player mode. So I made Buff Betson. Just looks like me but trim.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I've already noticed some differences in the My Play mode compared to 2018. One of the big things is there's voice acting now.
Cool.
Like I remember from last year, it was just like here's text on the screen and do the thing. It's like boop.
That's cool. I guess they've taken some of what they've learnt from the NBA 2K, which has been doing that for.
Is it that or FIFA that did like because FIFA was long shot and NBA just what was their My Career mode?
It's just called My Career, and they've been doing that since like 2K10. I think voice acting probably came in 2K11 or 12. So, and they've had like Spike Lee's done it. They've had can't remember his name now. The guy who directed Creed and Black Panther.
Yeah. Coogler.
Ryan Coogler. He directed one of the storylines. So they bring in some pretty like this year they had. Haley Joel Osment was one of the
I saw that, and they had the guy that was the bad dude in Prison Break season 4.
Yeah, Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, that's the one.
They got some really cool like talent in there. The stories are always like once you've played a couple of the stories, I feel like they kind of there's a lot of tropes that they rely on. But I know Salim from the Hunger Games played through the prelude. It's called for the first time this year, and he was like quite blown away by the cutscenes and the writing. So I guess if you haven't been playing them like a year after years like I have, it's still hits people. But yeah, it's cool. It's good to see. I guess crossing over into different elements of other games. Like there's RPG elements and there's all kinds of different things in there. Something for everyone because you can skip that stuff if you don't like it. And some people don't like it. this is the first year they've put skippable cutscenes in for people like that. And man, my brother is so deep in the 2K community, and there's a whole world of, you know, it's like it would be with like Destiny and League of Legends. Like there's people that just grind this out.
It's
man.
the cult of the NBA.
Yeah. It's insane. We've both been playing this game, but we play it completely different. Yeah, like, I don't know if I've played online like 3 times, and that's almost all he does. So it is cool to see that there's that variety, and it's no surprise that it sells so well when there's so many different ways to play. Yeah.
But yeah, and like with WWE, it's just fun.
Yeah,
like there's very minimal, like unlike NBA, we kind of play a bit more tactical, because if you know how NBA is played, you set up accordingly. WWE doesn't have that. Yeah, so it's just fun. It's just punching and throwing and shit, and just getting unnecessarily into it and yelling and screaming, which is what we did on stream on the Wednesday.
Could there be an esports league for this?
Potentially. I doubt it, but it'd be rad. Like, I would love to see it's like all these different, people create their own characters and they come in and they all batch it out. Like, I would like to see Ryan, the dumpster, Benson. Didn't have Betson, so I went with the closest.
Benson's probably a little bit tougher somehow.
It's a little bit.
I think I'm probably saying that because there was a gym back where I used to live called Benson's Gym, and I'm like, yeah, Benson.
Oh, so there's a connection there. Yeah, and then when you think Betson, you think of this malformed person.
That's it. You got me.
And I did also pick up Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I've spent about 20 minutes with it to jump into Blackout, see how it looked, and it looks like it looks pretty much like the beta. I will spend some more time with it because one thing I am doing as well. So thank you to Razer and the team at Double Jump Communications. I have been playing all these games with this. This is the Razer Raiju Tournament Edition.
Let me see this.
You can have a fiddle with there. So what the reason I'm playing so many different games this week, other than because I want to, is because I'm trying to put this controller through its ringer. So one of the big things about it is it has all these mappable paddles. You've got 2 on the top, 2 on the back. So unlike, say, the Xbox Elite controller has the 4 paddles on the back, you can still move it around a little bit. It's got the offset sticks like an Xbox controller.
How are you finding it?
I keep bumping the buttons on the back.
Yeah, I just accidentally did that myself. Are they necessary? Are they always mapped to something?
You can unmap them. There's an app on your phone that allows you to choose how they're mapped. So you can literally just make them nothing if you wanted to. It does force you to hold the control differently. But after playing with it like all day for the last 2-3 days, I pick it up now and my hands go where they need to be, and that's not a problem.
So is the idea having extra buttons that if you prefer to shoot with the back trigger, you can? They're completely remappable, so if that was what you wanted to do, that's possible. One of the other big advantages of it is if you're playing an FPS like Call of Duty, your fingers never leave the thumbsticks. So you can constantly be moving, and you can fire, you can reload, you can jump, and everything still takes place at the same time. Interesting. You think it gives you an advantage?
Oh, if I was better at games, oh yeah. Because I'm garbage, it just accentuates the garbage.
Sure.
But no, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it feels weighty. It feels heavy. It's certainly heavier than a PS4 controller. But seeing PlayStation doesn't have its own pro grade controller. It's a good step in the right direction.
Interesting.
But there will be a full video, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. But with PAX, who knows? I'll try to get it done before PAX. Is my plan.
Very good.
But anyways, that's what we've been playing this week. So now we head into the news, where we tell you what happened this week in PlayStation in a segment we call Inform the Players. Now, because Josh is out this week, I've curated this all myself, so this could be so bear with us. And even the transitions are going to be janky because this guy. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bits of news this week. Kicking off with number 1. So Red Dead Redemption 2's trophies have been leaked, but not everything is good in the Wild West. Although we don't recommend looking at the trophies for spoiler reasons, but you do. Sorry, that's a poorly written sentence. But you do better hope that you like multiplayer games. The single player trophies are pretty straightforward, where you work your way through the story and 100% all the activities, but getting that plat will have you going online, collecting trinkets and hitting that level 50.
Sounds a lot like the first Red Dead. I don't know if you played through with trophies in mind.
I didn't go with trophies in mind back then. I just played it.
There was one for like tying a woman to the Railway tracks. I wonder if that one will come back this year.
Ooh,
Might not be as
yeah.
appropriate in today's
Current
culture.
climate, yeah.
But yeah, a great trophy list, and I think I got all of them except for the multiplayer ones. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And I guess that's probably in line with what the GTA 5 list was like. It's a lot of multiplayer, but it's about 50% from the single player campaign.
If I remember right, there are some trophies, but they were relative, like easily obtainable. It's just playing only a couple of hours. You probably could chip off most of them. It's not like build get a $1 billion. But I could totally be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone get the plat for GTA 5 because I think there's tons, and a lot of people who play GTA Online don't even play the campaign, so they're not necessarily going for both. And
are you going to go for the plat?
We'll see.
Yeah?
See how, because I'm mostly a campaign guy first. If I finish the campaign and really get sucked into the multiplayer, then it might be something to chip away at. But I generally don't when multiplayer ones are involved. Like the Division, I got 70 or 80%, and then the extra 20% was the grind that I wasn't prepared to do. But, being this, huge game that we could be playing for 12 months or however these things
might
work.
just get it naturally.
Yeah, who knows? It might be enticing enough to keep me playing a little bit longer than I would otherwise. But I just hope they haven't locked any. Like I know Overwatch had like a couple that were just like, who's ever going to get that? So even if you play it for hundreds of hours, it's not going to be necessarily easy to get. So hopefully they haven't put anything ridiculous in there like that. But kill 200 people without dying in online or something, something crazy.
Yeah, so like I've not been trophy hunting as much this year. This year's all been credits. Well, I've got 2 plats out of it this year, and I'm currently sitting at 97% on Spooderman.
Ooh, what do you got to go?
I literally have to clear one more district, Taskmaster,
Easy,
and that's it.
You can knock that off in 2 hours.
Yeah, it's just sitting down and doing it.
What were the 2 plats?
God of War and Donut County. Donut County doesn't really count because you just play it for like 2 hours and you get a plat.
But God of War definitely.
God of War is certainly impressive, and I would love to get Spider-Man as well. Yeah. Red Dead is on the cards obviously for credits is a big one. But if it is obtainable, I may give it a burl.
What's this credits thing you keep talking about?
So my goal is for the year is to get credits, as in to get to the end of the game to see to see the credits.
Okay, yeah. Congratulations on doing that.
I'm on 16 for the year.
Because that was a big thing last time I was on this podcast. Was that you weren't finishing anything.
Yeah, last year I played 65 games and I completed about 2 or 3 to credits. This year I'm already on 16 out of 30 something games. So I played half as many games and I've 8 times to how many credits I'm getting. My as I said last week, I'm like my wife and son never see me, but I get them credits.
So are you playing less games?
Yeah, I've played half as many games as I did last year.
And do you think that you prefer this way of playing things? You don't have to play every game, do you feel? Or
a little bit. Like I do. I last year was just trying to like get as much content as we could muster. And this year I'm being a bit more selective and just finding things I think are worth my time. And I'm only getting credits on things that I think are worth my time. Like I'm not going to be like, well, that game was us, and then finish it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it says some good things about the games this year.
Yeah, it's been a good year.
A couple of them are like retro-y games. Like I went back and did the 2 PSP God of Wars before God of War. Sure. So they're kind of cheaty ones a little bit.
You still finished them.
Still finished them.
You finished them before though.
No, I hadn't.
Oh, okay. Well, then
no, they were brand new ones. Yeah,
definitely.
Like there were ones I'd probably put like 20 minutes into each time, like when I'm on a plane or something. Speaking of trophies, though, we'll keep going there. So this week, a Guinness World Record was given to Hakam Karim, or better known as PSN of Hakum, for his impressive platinum collection. As of September, he has as of September 19 this year, he has a complete platinum total of 1,691 platinums. Although he has added another 28 since then. So in just less than a month, another 28. Here are some additional stats. So he accumulates about 18.71 trophies per day. He has completed 91% of his 2,524 games, and he has a cumulative total of 70,198 trophies. Holy fuck.
Is this guy like a streamer?
I think he's just a dude.
You have to be, wouldn't you? Like, How could you dedicate that much time to
Does he have a job? Does he have family? Does he sleep?
He may as well stream it because there's... Yeah, he may as well, if he's playing games all day, he may as well stream. Yeah, that is insane. Like, I've never even heard of anyone with like 200 platinums.
Like we know a couple people with like over 100.
Yeah, occasionally I'll see a tweet or something where it'll be someone being like, "Oh, I got 150," or "I'm going for plat 190." But I've never heard anything between like, what was it, 1600? Never heard anything between like 200 or maybe 250 and 1600.
I think it's just him.
It's like,
just him and maybe one other dude.
But it makes you think, like, is he playing literally every single game?
He would have to be playing everything.
I know there's a lot of games out there, but most of these crappy like ones that come out on the PSN store wouldn't have platinum trophies, I think, because they're those kind of like mobile game ports or whatever they are. You know, there's like 30 games every week. But yeah, that's crazy.
But then there's those known platinum ones. What's the Hannah Montana was the big one?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably like 30 or 40 or 50 that are just like less than 5 hour platinums that, you know, people like my name is Mayo or whatever it is. Is it My Name is Mayo? I am Mayo. I can't remember.
My Name is Mayo.
Yeah. There's that, and there's, you know, occasionally you'll hear a little bit of a buzz about, oh, this game's like a 30-minute platinum. So there's only so many of those.
And this is 10 years worth of collecting.
True.
So it's got a bit of a while on there, but still, Jesus Christ.
Wow. I mean, I feel like that would cease to have meaning after that many, wouldn't they?
You would lose all. It would lose all fun.
Yeah.
Because now, right? Or I guess I think it probably can be safe to say that no one's going to come for his world record.
I don't think so.
I think he's right. Like I understand, like when you're trying to build that, you like you know you can't lose that gap, but I think that gap is insane.
It's actually obsessive, like concerning.
Yeah, can someone check up on this dude?
This guy.
Make sure he's all right.
He's probably just like strapped into a machine, and there's like a drip into his vein of like caffeine and protein, and he's just like gets someone to empty his bedpan.
He just poops in the mirror sitting.
Yeah,
gross.
Yeah.
But like, as it is a world record, they would have had to check that, so it's all legit and the same, which is still makes it scary.
Can't cheat the PSN.
Can't cheat. Now I kind of really should have restructured the first two bits of news, because this third one fits rightly into the first one. Although people are pretty stoked on Red Dead Redemption 2, what we all really want is Bully 2, and it looks like it may be on its way. Website Rockstar Intel has reported that 7 casting calls have been released for, quote, a new unannounced video game title with a leading UK games developer shooting at Pinewood Studios, end quote. The casting calls are primarily for teenage roles, with the following information being provided. Mild violence and profanity will be used in scenes with the young performer. The project itself is a thriller drama, and all scenes with the young performer will be handled with sensitivity. There is also mention of college professors, and that's really all we have to go with. But I don't know about you, and I know Jono, I know you're in the same boat here, but this also sounds a lot like a potentially leaked Harry Potter game.
It does. Like, it all fits mostly. I don't know about the profanity. Is that, I'm not as familiar with the source material of Harry Potter as others, but
yeah,
would
so
that be a little unusual?
Profanity is new to Harry Potter. Like, that's not a thing that's there. There's any swears in the entire book. The mild violence, because it says mild violence, which, you know, that's like wizards and shit. And like the mention of the college, it's the UK games dev that has me intrigued, because they're wanting UK voices, I assume.
Yes.
But Rockstar's based out of the UK. WB, depending on who they're using, could be Montreal, which is in Canada. Where's Monolith based?
They're in Seattle.
They're in Seattle. So even then, I did double up there, so ignore the doubling up.
Yeah, just the Pinewood Studios. I'm wondering, like, I don't know what that is. Is that just like a motion capture?
I think it's a motion capture studio. Yeah.
So it's very possible that an American developer could be just having the scenes shot.
Yeah, like they want UK people in that place.
Yeah, who knows? But it sounds cool. I don't think it's going to be Bully 2. Sorry to piss on your parade, but
there was mention. Now I didn't put it in here because I couldn't bother verifying it. So I did read somewhere that Bully 2 was the plan after Red Dead 2. That could also be talking out of an ass.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a very Rockstar move to make a Bully 2 at this point.
Yeah.
Now that they've changed so much since then, like, you kind of feel like GTA Red Dead would be like the logical let's make $1 billion off this thing decision. whether they have other studios that they could, ship it off to, give the license to another developer to do that, since they own obviously the IP. I think that would probably make more sense than them dropping work on GTA 6 to do this, because you can't really see that. I guess the thing that they've hit with GTA 5 is that it just keeps going because of the online component, and it's hard to see how Bully might fit into that in the same way. Like you can see how Bully 2 could have some kind of dodgeball and whatever kinds of multiplayer, but it's not going to have that world that Red Dead and GTA lend themselves to.
So I never considered that. I didn't consider the online side of what Bully 2 would need to work in that, the new Rockstar business model. But my brain was going at it from the social commentary perspective. Schools have changed so drastically since Bully came out. I think there's a lot that they could say about the current climate around schools.
Oh man, like school shooters and stuff.
Maybe not that brutal, but
they would go there though.
But even just in terms of how technology it affects students and that sort of especially around the idea of bully, right? Granted, when you're in that game, you are not the bully, you're the new kid and everyone's a dick to you.
Yes.
I remember it had to be renamed here in Australia to Canis Canem Edit to avoid that the optics of being a game about being a bully.
We all still call it Bully. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, isn't it? I don't even think I fucking have thought of that. But I think they could have something really cool to say about the current schooling. Hopefully not about school shootings and shit, because that's brutal. Yeah. But I didn't even think about the online aspect. And for that reason, you've kind of swayed me, man, because that's 100% true. Like Red Dead Online is huge. GTA 5 Online is huge. I also don't think their next game will be GTA 6, mostly because I think they don't want to then cannibalize on Red Dead Online again. I'm unsure.
The way they take so many years in between games
kind of makes it okay.
Makes it feel like so I think I was on IGN Game Scoop. I was listening to on the way here. They were talking about how, whether it's intentional or not, they've stumbled upon this formula where they can release a game near the end of a console's generation life cycle, and then they're making full use of the technology and the developments over those 4 or 5 years to then be able to port it onto the PS5, which I don't know if we're talking about that later, but it's somewhat around the corner. So we're going to have 2 versions. You have obviously the PC version coming as well, but
allegedly no PC for Red Dead. In the same as the Red Dead 1.
For now.
I guess for now, yeah.
I mean, when there's money to be made, So I think from that perspective, it could be something where, towards the end of PS5, that's GTA 6, and then whatever happens after that, who knows. But, Sony Bend made an Uncharted game for the Vita, Uncharted Golden Abyss. You see these things happen now and then where a studio will hand off the license, like Rocksteady and Arkham Origins. They didn't make that game.
Oh yeah, WB Montreal.
So who knows? I think that it would almost make more sense for someone else to do it.
Well, Rockstar has different studios under the same brand. There's Rockstar, there's Rockstar North, and there's because there's the yellow logo, the blue logo, the red logo, purple logo. There's a bunch of different places that can be shopped around. Yeah,
the guys that made the table tennis game wasn't the same ones that were. It's Take-Two or something, isn't it?
It is all under Take-Two. Right. But they do have separate Rockstar studios, and so because I know that I think it's Rockstar North have been working on Red Dead.
Sure.
With the Rockstar games are the ones that were doing GTA.
Yeah. Well, maybe it will happen, and it doesn't have to be that same $1 billion game. It's obviously not going to cost as much if it's a different infrastructure and environment compared to the scope of something like Red Dead or GTA. I feel like people will probably expect it to be like that, which is unfortunate because there's a lot less you can do with a high school story.
Yeah, with all the money coming off Red Dead and the money still coming in from GTA, potentially they could take that risk and then make just a very campaign heavy game.
I mean, we'd all love to see it. It's one of the most requested things. I feel like it's one of those you always hear about Half-Life 3 and you hear about I don't know Portal 3 and all these things, and Bully 2 often comes up in those conversations. So yeah, it would be rad. And that's such a cool game of its time, like PS2 era. It was like an improvement on. Yeah, it really was an improvement, I guess, on the engine of like San Andreas, and felt a bit more modern. Like I think it holds up in a lot of ways that those games. It's a bit tighter. It's a smaller world, a bit more streamlined.
Yeah, no, I mean, I played it again on the Xbox. Thumbs up. Still very good.
Yeah,
but it ain't no midnight club. Just saying. The next bit of news, to the surprise of no one, we have a minor confirmation the PS5, could be right around the corner. Although Sean Layden pretty much gave us the thumbs up in 2017, Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida mentioned in a recent interview with the Financial Times that, quote, "At this point, what I can say is necessary to have next generation hardware," end quote. And that's it. Literally nothing else was said. But now that I've mentioned it, I can put PS5 in the tags and the title, therefore more views. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, necessary is an interesting word to use, but yeah.
I think it is necessary is a key word there, and I think that comes down to we know that Xbox are working on the next one. Although One X is existent, like at E3, the dude whose name I've completely brain farted on, dude, shirt, jacket, stands there.
Gio Corsi.
No, this is the Xbox dude.
Oh, sorry. This is a PlayStation show. We don't.
That guy, Phil Spencer. There we go. Got there in the end. Sorry. Like Phil Spencer's standing up there, and he's like, "We're already working on our next piece of hardware," which is a bit of kicking the dick to anyone on the board in Xbox One X. But and that's. It makes sense that they'd have to work on this.
Yeah, it's been very much confirmed through developers saying they're working on stuff for the next console, and it's the worst kept secret, I think. Literally.
And like I know, I read somewhere as well that Infinity Ward have put out requests for some devs for the next, what we assume is the next Call of Duty game, and in that job description they do mention working on a next gen title, which could make it possible that the PS5 is that around the corner, because Infinity Ward are the next one with Treyarch on Black Ops 4. Infinity Ward is next, which means could we see a PS5 in 2019? My brain still kind of says 2020.
Yeah, but I think they will reveal it next E3. I feel like that could be something, and then November, was that too soon? Yeah,
previously it's been announced in March, announced in March, shown off at E3, released in November. So it does happen within that 1 calendar year.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we were only 12 months away from it. I wouldn't be shocked.
Wouldn't it be like with no PSX as well? They're like, the reason we didn't do it is because we wanted to wait until right now to be like, hey, PS5 is here. This is at specs. Pay yourself. You'll see more in June.
Yeah. It's exciting. I just feel like they want to have some big games to release with this next one instead of the usual lackluster lineup. Sorry, Knack. Of launch titles, and it already feels like whether it's Death Stranding, Last of Us 2, we're not sure on a few of Sony's big release dates. Dreams. I don't know if that's necessarily a PS5 game, but it's I feel like
there are clusters of the internet that are really stoked on Dreams.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why. Looks like poos, but
people who've played it have said that it's rad,
it's
surprisingly cool, and it's just not for me. I think it's definitely going to be for a certain contingent.
I agree in that sense. I agree it's not for me. Like even like Little Big Planet, which same guys, Me and Molecule. Like I love it. I don't play the creative part. I like playing the game.
Yeah, and that will be an option for people with this too. Like you might see a Let's Play or something where they're trying out a few different levels, and you'll be like, that looks awesome.
Like I want to check out that level.
Paul James says he's gradually buying into the hype, and I think that might be the way it goes.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah, and it'll be like word of mouth, and it probably won't sell as well as other PlayStation exclusives because they're doing so well lately. But that's I'm sure it will sell better than some of the Xbox ones if there are any. But
Gauntlet.
I think that I think it's kind of an unknown what's after this next phase, like the 2020, like the 2019 lineup. We know a few of the games.
Yeah, like we
Days
assume
Gone
Last of Us. We got Days Gone earlier in the year. I think Dreams is somewhere in the middle there as well, probably between June and Feb.
Kojima says that Death Stranding's coming out. Who knows?
I don't believe him. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, exactly.
If they can pull that out by the end of next year, that would be amazing again.
But there's kind of a like black period after that where it's like, well, what's after
everyone?
that?
It's been like 2-3 years since they last did something. Like, there's not enough time to bring something out.
And it makes you think like, have they just, the way it's worked out, accidentally released all their games at once, and then they're going to have a long period without first party blockbusters, or have they been really careful and they're holding off to announce, here's your PS5 launch lineup. It's a major game from Rocksteady. It's a major game from Supermassive. You know, who made Infamous and would be awesome.
Oh, you mean Sucker Punch?
Oh, sorry, Sucker Punch is what I meant. Like, what are they working on? We don't know. What's Monolith working on?
Wait, aren't Sucker Punch doing Tsushima?
Are they?
Paul, I'm pretty sure they are.
Who's doing? Yeah. Who are we talking about before?
Well, the only ones. Supermassive were Until Dawn. That they've now got a deal with Activision to make that sort of anthology of horror games. Like, Santa Monica's done. Sony London, they're working on VR shit. A lot of the first parties have blown their nut. Like, they're in their early production of their next game.
Horizon Zero Dawn 2
would be cool. That'd be a very close turnaround. I was listening to another show this morning, and they were talking about how unlikely it is that, because they originally thought that Killzone would have been a good launch for PS5, but even then they're kind of stepping back one.
There was talk that the next game they make won't be a Horizon game. So who knows? I think that there's just a few secrets naturally that will be held off until that PS5 announcement, and then boom.
If they can whip out
Final
PS5,
Fantasy 7.
if they whip out PS5 with his Final Fantasy 7 remake, which is unlikely, but that would be fantastic. Or if they just go, hey, here's Rocksteady's latest, that would people blow up. People would be like, there's not enough excitement in people.
Yeah. I mean, even if it isn't exclusive, it might be that it's going to be on the Xbox, whatever that's going to be called as well, but it's still going to be, the timing I think will line up with the next, because it feels like there's been a few phases where, you know, we did have, you know, the Spider-Man God of War phase of hype where we were expecting that for some time, and before that there was, you know, all the big games that came out last year, and we've always kind of known that this is what we're excited about this year, this is what we're excited about next year, and then maybe we've seen like a teaser for the year after. But I feel like that there's like a whole blank period.
There is a curtain there, and we just wait for that curtain to be dropped.
Very exciting.
But one thing we do know that is going to be coming to PS5 is an announcement that happened this week. After almost 12 years to the day, we can finally change our PSN names. Sony has confirmed that name changes are indeed coming to your PlayStation, allowing the people to change their PlayStation Network usernames. A beta test is set for the near future, concluding at the end of November. The internet has spent a long time harassing Sony for this, but it looks it may not have been as easy as we all think. In the post on the PS blog, it says, quote, "This feature is compatible with PS4 games, originally published after the 1st of April 2018. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional. And a large majority of the most played PS4 games that were released before this date. However, please note, not all games and applications for PS4, PS3, and the Vita are guaranteed to support the online ID change, and users may occasionally encounter issues or errors in certain games. You are able to go back to your old PSN name if you do hit any of those bugs. It should also be noted that the change won't be free, just like Microsoft. Sony will be charging $9.99 US to make the change in the beta, but PS Plus members can do it for a whole $4.99 USD. Although the first one is free, of course, so it's pretty cool. The full release is set for, quote, early 2019, with more information between now and then.
Wow. Finally.
Yeah, it feels like I've been talking about it for a long time. Now, granted, I'm not someone that's going to be changing my handle. I'm pretty happy with Betson because you've got Jono himself, yeah?
It's got a hyphen in the middle.
You want to ditch the hyphen?
Maybe if it's available, I might ditch the hyphen.
Yeah, so like I've got Betson with the all capitals.
Yeah.
I might drop it to a uppercase B,
Just a regular volume.
lowercase Edson. Yeah, apparently I was yelling back on PS3. Bless her, woo!
Steve Holt.
Yeah. So this news isn't massive to me. It's cool to It's cool to see it happen.
It's massive in the sense that wow, they finally did it.
Yeah,
because it's been such a big sticking point with the PlayStation fan base and a big criticism from some people. And it really is just like a short-sighted mistake that they made years ago that they haven't. I don't know why it's taken this long. Like you'd think that whatever solution they came up with, they could have figured it out a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
But this is something that we talked about last week, which I think everyone's talked about at this point, is the idea that everything is connected to that name rather than a string of numbers or whatever. So, and that's pretty much what they're getting at. They're like, hey, it's gonna fuck your old games. But at the same point, if you're someone that actively gives a shit and wants to change your name, you're not playing PS3 anymore. No. It's fine.
So when they say it won't work with the old games, it's not gonna. You're not gonna lose your data or your trophies or anything.
No, I assume it's leaderboards and just as in like if you're playing an online game, it might wig out a little bit.
Or it might. I thought from hearing that it would display your old name.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Because I still think the new name that you'll get will just lay over the top of your old one. And then sometimes any purchases will still be connected to your old name, but anything where it tries to display your name, it pulls from the front. That's how I'm interpreting how I think it'll go down. It's the simplest way to it in a system how we think it's broken. That seems to fit.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's a lot better than some of the rumors that I would only work with PS4. It wouldn't work with PS3 at all, and like you wouldn't keep your PS3 trophies and Vita trophies. Like, yeah, I think that given the intense difficulty that they've had to change this at all, this is probably it's good enough for me. Like, it's good enough, I think, to kill the story to get people focusing on something else, like crossplay maybe. But
yeah. See, like,
there's always going to be something to complain about.
Yeah, people be like, well, what's the thing? Well, now you can change your names. Are you going to do it? No, I can't think of a new one. Yeah. It's fine. I'll just be my balls as Harry for the next 10 years. We'll come back to that bit of news because that kind of brings us into our main topics. Let's jump into the best. We'll jump into some little quick bits. Get you excited, and then we'll jump into the best-selling games. So, the quick bits are Diablo 3 is getting crossplay. Speaking to a Business Insider in Australia, a Blizzard rep said that quote, it's a question of when, not if. Obsidian Entertainment, best known for Fallout New Vegas, looks becoming a Microsoft first party. Don't know what that means, because I think there's a game they're working on. Might have been PlayStation 1. Spooderman is the best-selling Western-made PS4 title in Japan since Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped in 1998.
That's insane.
Castlevania Requiem looks to be using the same PSP emulation as Parappa the Rapper and Loco Roco. So it looks like people have a problem with that because apparently the PSP ones using voice actors or some shit. PlayStation VR this month turned 2.
Yay.
Hey. And to celebrate, they announced Borderlands 2 is coming to PSVR on December 14 and will also have support for the aim controller.
So what does that mean?
What?
The aim
the gun looking, the PVC pipe gun thing.
Sure. How do you think the movement will work in this game?
I think with the benefit of the aim control, it does have the 2 thumbsticks on it, so you get that free movement. So I see it being the same sort of movement that you would get in Firewall 0 Hour and the Bravo team. Insane. Ha! I
didn't even realize that.
Paul J in the chat says, insane. I get it, Jono. Nice work there. I wish I meant it. It's I think it's the same as Firewall 0 Hour, and there was another one. There was what's the one? Farpoint. Yeah. Well, sorry, as in you still have the free movement. They're kind of starting to nail free movement in VR games. I've not played VR in a while myself. I was going to pick up Firewall, but having a child that can now run around and yank cords, it makes it very difficult.
So it's not that teleporting.
No,
movement?
I think some games still have that as an option, but it's so much better to do the free movement. So much better.
Cool. Well,
are you keen for the Castlevanias?
Well, I am in the sense that I haven't played Symphony of the Night. So
you haven't either?
No.
Sweet.
So
oh, thank fuck! I thought I was the only one.
No,
Really concerned. So I emailed the friend of ours who's the PR rep for Australia. I'm like, hey, guys, got any news about the Requiem coming out here? Because look, unashamedly, like, she's like, I haven't played it either. I'm like, oh, thank fuck. All right, cool. Can I get a code? She's like, yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, like, we'll get it sorted. But yeah, good. I thought there was like the dozens of us. Dozens. That's right. 2 Arrested Development references in the one episode. Yeah.
I mean, it was not the kind of game that I was drawn to in that era.
Yeah, I agree.
There was a few platformers, but at that time, it was like you wanted to play the 3D games because we were kids.
That was cool. We
didn't know any better. And I probably wouldn't even. I don't even know if I would have been allowed to buy a game with like vampires and blood and that kind of thing when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. So
yeah, my parents were pretty liberal in what I could play, but I have a feeling that may have been there.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited to check it out. I played a little bit of the one that was on the Super NES, the SNES classic,
the SNES.
Yeah, so that one, obviously, I think Castlevania Symphony of the Night is generally the one that's it's held up
staple,
there as like the number one experience of that series. So having just watched the animated thing,
what'd you think
on Netflix? I was a while ago now, but in the scope of things, that has kind of given me a bit more of a feel for the world of Castlevania. And yeah, I like the show, and I'm pretty keen to see if Platinum Trophy is attainable for Symphony of the Night, because that'd be fun.
I haven't watched the Castlevania Netflix series yet, but our good friend Joel Gralton of Anagame gave it some thumbs up, and I take his recommendations very seriously.
Very good.
Now, the 10 best-selling games for the week. What was the week? I don't know. Fuck, last one, I guess. Number 10, God of War. Number 9, Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. Number 8, GTA 5. Number 7, Steep, ? Number 6, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Number 5, WWE 2K19. Number 4, NBA 2K19. Number 3, Marvel's Spider-Man. Number 2, FIFA 19. And number 1 is the Assassin's Creed Odyssey. No major surprises there.
Steep?
Apart from Steep. What
sale,
the hell?
maybe?
I assume so.
What was the number 9?
Number 9 was Fist of the North Star, which is a sort of a semi-remake of an old IP.
I'm not familiar.
To keep those shout-outs coming, a good friend of ours, Zach, over at Well Played, big fan of that franchise.
Okay.
But I forget how Josh segues into the main topic. So we're talking about Fallout 76. I did originally the idea may have been talk about name changes, but I don't give a fuck that much about it. So it's like Yakuza, says Paul.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to talk about Fallout 76. And I've got a bunch of information here that we're going to base everything off of. A bunch of big old outlets have spent some time with Bethesda's latest release, Fallout 76, and a good hunk of details have come out. The map of West Virginia looks to be around 4 times bigger than Fallout 4's map of Boston, and the map can be found online. You can look at it right now. Wow. PvP can be turned off if you don't want people to ruin your day, although it's forcibly switched off until level 5, and it can then be later toggled off. Although it is unclear whether it prevents others from attacking you or you from attacking others. Word is the game looks rough. Digital Foundry have done their usual magic analysis, and it looks to be average regardless of what console you play on. The frame rate is especially dire, barely sticking to its 30 frames per second, even when there's no real action on screen. Digital Foundry also points out that even at a 4K resolution, some textures are incredibly muddy, and the general graphical quality doesn't show much improvement over Fallout 4. This is somewhat expected, given that Fallout 76 is already an online game, and it is running on the exact same engine, the creative engine, as Fallout 4, but it doesn't inspire much confidence. Bethesda has said that the preview build isn't indicative of the finished product, although Bethesda has had a somewhat rocky past, making their titles run smoothly on the PlayStation. Fallout 76 does drop on November 14, with the beta kicking off on the PlayStation on October 30. So, are you keen for the Fallout 76?
I am moderately keen.
Mm-hmm.
I will be playing it, definitely. I hope that it's good. I'm a really big Fallout fan in general. Like, I Platinum 4.
Nice.
If I had the internet in 2008, I probably would have Platinum 3, but didn't have trophy support at the time. It got added later on, and by that time, I'd probably played most of it.
Yeah.
But I've played that game like 3 times through, and that's a lot of hours. And obviously New Vegas is great. I've played a little bit of Fallout 2, but yeah, I'm excited to see what they've done, because from the few additions to some of the different monsters and things, I'm sure that they've found a few different ways to make this different from Fallout 4. So that's exciting just to see what they've done, because I am generally a fan of what they add to these games. But the whole multiplayer thing, I'm not 100% on. Like, I don't know how that's going to work for me, the way that I play games. I guess the thing about Fallout is it's very much your exploration of this world. So I wonder whether it's just going to be an inconvenience for me to be like, oh, hey, Ryan, you want to play Fallout 76? Yeah, man. I'm exploring the northeast map right now. Oh, I've already been up there. I wanted to explore this area. Or, and then like trying not to spoil things for each other where there's things to discover, or not knowing what you've experienced so far, and I'm not a high enough level to go down there, and we're different. I don't know exactly how that's all going to work, whether it will matter at all. Maybe it won't matter. Maybe it will just be varied enough that you'll always find something to do together. But I feel like unless you play through the whole thing with someone, it's not going to be the thing that I'm used to with Fallout. So I'm just not sure how that's going to work.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a thing where you've both explored an area. Doesn't matter. You go back there and you loot things and kill other people. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the gameplay system would be very much that. It would be the go there, loot it, come back, and then repeatedly go back to places. And that seems to be the common trend of games in this vein, like the survival-y kind of games.
It's just a little at odds with the things that I like about Fallout, which is, what's this? I've never seen this shack. I'm going to go in there and read a note and see what happened here. And there's like a little stuffed toy on the ground, and the kid's been kidnapped or something, and then I have to go find them, or whatever it is. It's just like this unraveling thing that happens in Bethesda games like this. So
yeah, because that's what I find endearing as well in Bethesda Softworks titles, like your Elder Scrolls, like your Fallout. So the idea of finding something and running with it, and if someone comes and goes, "Oh yeah, that's for that," you're like, "Oh fuck yeah," like,
"Oh, don't worry, that's a crap. Like the loot's crap. Don't worry about that thing." I was like,
and like then that becomes like Destiny. It's like, we'll just trudge through the story,
or just like carry me through this raid or whatever.
Yeah. It's odd. Like, when the whole time I played Fallout 3, the whole time I played Fallout 4, I'm like, fuck, wouldn't this be amazing if it had multiplayer? Wouldn't that add something so awesome? And now that it's almost here, and we'll likely go hands-on with it at PAX, I'm like, do I want this? I'm not having regret. I'm still keen as shit, because like I like getting excited. I'm pretty cynical, and when I can find something that makes me a little bit excited, I get really happy. Obviously, so I'm like, I've already got my pre-order down. We may even still get a code. I don't give a fuck. I'm buying it. They got the Tricentennial. Even jumped up a bump. So I'm not getting the fucking helmet. Like, I'm putting money in this bad boy. I want it to be good. There are some, like, in terms of the performance, like, I trust Digital Foundry and what they say. I think they are, because they approach the game from a tech perspective, you do find they tend to have remove a lot of the biases that you can sort of see in games media.
You definitely tend to give them a free pass on that kind of stuff in these series, because it's often not what you're playing it for, I think. Yeah,
but there are some things that they're going to be initially jarring, and that being, we understand that it is technically a Fallout technically something they were working on for Fallout 4. This was said in one of Danny O'Dwyer's NoClip documentaries. Todd Howard mentioned that this was going to be as part of Fallout 4. So when Fallout 4 was finished, they shipped this over to Battlecry, which is one of their new studios that they've purchased, and goes make a multiplayer game out of this. So Fallout 4 on release did look noticeably like a backstep compared to everything else around it. That includes The Witcher, that includes many other RPGs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's now been 3 years since then. And if it still looks and runs the same as Fallout 4, my son's about to break in that door. You can hear him knocking. At least he's nice when he knocks.
He's polite.
Hello. Yeah. I'm kicking the door down. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, after that amount of time,
there's a door handle goes down.
It's like Jurassic Park with the raptor.
It's scary, isn't it?
It's like, it's ominous. But yeah, after that amount of time, you feel like they should have at least caught up to, like, I don't know, like a game that came out in 2014.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed Black Flag or something. Like, it should look that good, but it's still not quite there.
Well, because like games have come so far graphically in just that 3-4 years. Like you look at like your God of Wars, you look at like your Spider. I think my wife came and said it. Like you just stopped. And the dinosaur got bored and left. Like the games have improved so much. Like we're watching Assassin's Creed. You know, Odyssey. We're like, fuck, that's some pretty good face animation. That's pretty like no one's fallen through the ground yet.
Yeah.
Like and Odyssey is a huge world, and like it's not as if Bethesda don't have money.
Yeah.
Like they're a big fucking studio.
They have a small team though.
It is a small team.
It's
though,
like
comparatively.
It's like 100 people instead of 600. I don't know how big Ubisoft studios are, but yeah. And the other part of it is like, okay, if you get a weird glitch when you're playing Fallout 4 and you have to like fast travel to a town or something, whatever. But if you're playing online and you've got high stakes and there's other people and you're like stuck against the wall and you're like, I can't jump out of here because there's
you
no
can't fast travel on a online game, maybe, you know?
And it's like, well, it's kind of going to ruin your overall experience. So yeah, it's I'm not expecting this to be like a game of the year, which is something or even a contender for game of the year. Maybe it will be for some, but that's not really something you usually say about a Fallout game.
Yeah. Paul James jumps in. He says, I'm not typically a Fallout fan, but the online shared world aspect actually has me more interested in it than I have ever been.
And that's an interesting side to it. There's people that are kind of like, yeah, Fallout's okay. I'm not that big a fan. And I'm not imitating Paul there. But there's a lot of people like that.
I thought you nailed it, by the way.
Yeah. There's a lot of people like that who are like, oh, maybe I'll jump into this one because I love online multiplayer and like they love their Destinies and, you know, Division, Tom Clancy games, like that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's interesting to bring in a new group of people into a game that maybe they usually play Fallout for like 30 hours and then give up and they don't get to experience the rest of the 50 hours or whatever it is. But
like I'm very, very keen to sort of try it out as the PopC community. Like there's enough of us, we should be able to populate one of the worlds ourselves. If we can get like a private server or something or a private map, and then we just have different factions of all the same community, and that'd be awesome fun. Like I'm sure you guys, the 8-bit, can do that.
Count me in. I think most 8-bit people will be playing on PC and Xbox.
Ah, jerks. Yeah,
and we don't have that crossplay yet. So.
Yeah, boo them. Well, yeah, with Bethesda being like we demand crossplay. Hey, we're gonna have it. Yeah, we don't really want it.
That's what happened, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally what happened. And like Josh gave me so much shit last week because I thought they were being completely hypocritical about it. Like they're like they played, you know, Sony played their bluff, and they're like, we didn't have anything. I'm sorry.
So it's back on them now.
Well, it is now, yeah, because originally the fight was about Elder Scrolls Legends, a game that no one gave two fucks about. But the whole idea is, well, if you think it's so important to Legends, why isn't it important to Fallout 76? And
do you think that's something they could patch in?
Potentially. If it's as simple as flicking on a switch like everyone says it is, then yeah. But it's not that easy. It can't be that easy. No. It can't be that easy.
Otherwise, it would be done.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I'm pretty interested in Fallout. I think it should be something fantastic. I'm liking the idea of the small group of squad doing all this stuff. And I think it might be a good game to... Because back in the day, the game that I used to play with all my friends was Call of Duty. We would all jump on, we'd play for like 4 hours of a night, and we would just play games and chat and whatever, right? It'd just be a good way to catch up. But as we got older, we played less because we got increasingly worse at the game because we're old and our reflexes aren't as good anymore. And I think with Fallout, we could still get that same multiplayer community feel without having to have all the stress of being 360 no scoped.
That's it. Do you think there will be much to do if you want to play solo?
I'd like to think so, knowing that Fallout comes from a solo background. I would like to think that they're courteous enough to understand that someone wants to play solo. Yeah. Unless there's events tied into being multiplayer, I think you could get away with it.
Because I feel like it's a Fallout game. There still have to be quest givers and people that, the sheriff of the town or whatever it is.
Well, they said there's no NPCs. It's just all players.
That's what I don't
like, where do you get fucking missions from?
Yeah, that's the part where is it just like there aren't any missions? It's just
looking at the gameplay footage, there are quests. And go here, get this, do that, do this, whatever. Like, where do you get them? Is there a letter? Is there an audio log somewhere? Like, how does this work?
Otherwise, it's like a game with no voice acting. He's back.
He's back. Ooh. I know you guys can't. Yeah, I know you guys can't see this, but it's literally it's like in every horror movie when there's someone, and then you see this. Daddy. Like, oh god, I'm gonna die. It's a horror movie, and I live it. Nah, my son's fantastic. He's gonna bust in any minute.
You'll have to get to
his wife saved.
No, you have to get to a point where you put up like one of those child fences just in front of the door.
I did think that we may have to get one of those like little chain latches or something on this side.
Yeah. Hello.
Doors. Hey, buddy. Hi.
What are you doing?
Where's mum and you have no pants on?
This is not appropriate content. He's so small that you can't even see him walk under the.
Yeah, it's like he tries. It's like Dickie Nee in here. Yeah. Hey, bud.
He's joining us.
All right, he's crashing the party.
What do you think of Fallout?
What do you think of Fallout 76? Are you keen? See, it's lucky that he's adorable because that gets me like everyone's like, oh, it's fine. He interrupted. It's all good.
The audio listeners are like, what's going on?
Yeah, the audio listeners have got no idea what's going on. All right,
sorry, audio listeners.
You smell like 4 different kinds of food. You want to go back outside now? Can you go to mummy? Go to mummy. No. I'll be 1 second. Hey, bud.
I'll vamp.
Talk more about Fallout.
Fallout. Bethesda.
You just burped in my ear.
Oh man, this is gonna be like on Wayne's World when Garth has to like run the show. No, I mean, it's the window for this game's also a little concerning, where it's not
Sorry,
right on Red Dead, but it's close enough to Red Dead, I think, where maybe people will be finishing the campaign and then, okay, finished Red Dead campaign. Now I'm gonna play multiplayer. Oh, and Fallout came out today.
Yeah.
Got no time for it.
The timing is very concerning because it does come out like 2 weeks after Red Dead. Now Red Dead's gonna eat anything. No matter where you put it, Red Dead's gonna eat it. But like there is that stress test on the 30th, as I mentioned, which is just like 2 days after.
Even closer to Red Dead.
Which is even closer to Red Dead.
4 days? 2 days.
2 days.
Okay.
But what's fascinating for me about the stress test is what can they change? What can they implement between like that 2 weeks, that 3 week period before it drops? And they can't be that confident how the it is a stress. Like they are calling it like the server stress test, but
yeah,
how confident can they be in how it runs that they're like, we're just testing load?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think, isn't it usually just about servers when they do these things?
Normally.
Because they know how the game plays because they're playing it themselves. And
yeah, but it's one of those forest from the trees things, you know, like if you're sitting this close to it all the time, you may not see some problems other people find.
Yeah.
Unless there has been some alpha testers and stuff that we don't know about. It's very likely.
I mean, there's always QA and there's always Sony and Microsoft probably have their own QA teams that have to certify things. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we shall see. Yeah,
also that we shall see, as you said, because like it's right around. PAX is right around the corner. It's 2 weeks away. We will be there. We're both probably going to go very likely going hands on with Fallout 76.
Maybe we'll be on the same squad.
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe we'll be
we can
fighting each other.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll have my rusty pipe gun, and you'll have that fucking like sledgehammer that's built of like a pole and a bit of cement and
On fire.
On fire. That's how Fallout works.
Yeah.
What do you think of Fallout 76? Are you excited for it? Are you going to check it out at PAX as well? Are you coming to PAX as well? Let us know because
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Say hello.
But look, Fallout is a couple of weeks away. That's about it. This game's come out this week. In a section we called Coming to the Players, where we straight up just read the drop at you. Whoa, starting off strong this week. Crayola Scoot. We know we don't read them out, but I got to read this one. Creativity wins in this colourful freestyle scooter championship in Corolla Scoot. Crayola. More tricks mean more colour. And colour can change the world in impossible ways. It's time to make your mark at the Scoot Park. So that's like, you know what kids love? Crayons and scooters. And what looks like Splatoon with scooters.
Let's bring it together.
Oof. Drone Striker, PSVR digital. Fast Striker, PS4, PS Vita.
Digital crossbar.
Digital crossbar. I hope they're connected in some way. For Honor Marching Fire Edition. This looks to be just a new release version of the original, which is insane because I'm baffled that game's still going, to be honest. I thought that game was very much dead.
Got legs.
Gnome's Garden, PS4 digital. Halloween Forever, PS4, PS Vita. Yeah, that's a timely release, I suppose. Well,
yeah.
Looks like poo,
I've
but
been sitting on that one for a while.
like they've been banking it. They knew it was going to be that good.
They finished it 6 months ago.
Yeah, they had to bring it out in October. Heavy Fire Red Shadow on PS4. That is a digital release. The Jackbox Party Pack number 5. PS4 digital. It's the biggest party pack yet with 5 party-saving games, including the return of the classic pop culture trivia mashup, You Don't Know Jack. Use phones or tablets as controls and play up to 8 players, plus an audience of up to 10,000. What? Jesus Christ. Marching Fire is the big new DLC for Honor, says Paul. Looks Paul busting knowledge and shit. Lego DC Supervillains. I believe that is physical and digital.
That's exciting. That looks really kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not a big thing for Lego games. I love Lego Dimensions, but I don't know. Could be rad. The villains are always really cool.
Yeah. Have you seen like the gameplay of this thing?
No, not
it's
at all.
like you create your own villain,
Ooh.
and then you're put into this story with the Suicide Squad and all these
Rad.
people. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Featuring the voice cast for that game is amazing. They've got all the people from like the cartoons, like the Teen. I think is it Teen Titans? Is that
Teen Titans Go. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the DC villains animation. Greg Miller's a voice in that
Yeah,
game.
he's Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot, yeah.
something like that.
My good friend Anthony Ingruber's got a gig in that game. I'm not sure what his character is, and
Even for the plugs alone, you should pick up the game now.
yeah, I mean, it looks really fun. I'll put it that way.
It's the same. The Lego games always look fun.
Yeah.
That's to say the least. So.
And they're actually really fun couch co-op games as well, if that's still something that's important to you. So
for my job, it's very important, so I like that.
well, there you go.
NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. NBA Arcade Action is back with NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. Sequel to the original smash hit takes street balling to the next level. Pick your team, get ready to jam, and ball without limits. All them balls. You down for the balls?
Yeah, that's like the modern NBA Jam kind of thing. It's a bit more arcadey than like the 2K series.
Are you a bit more? Where do you lie on the 2K?
Well, I haven't. I've only played a little bit of those ones, but I'm quite loyal to 2K. I like the experience.
Makes sense.
The sim.
Overload PS4 digital. Palm Reading Premium PS4 digital.
It's a palm reading sim.
Oh yeah, I got to read this one too. Palm Reading Premium is the most luxury and professional palmistry and cryology software out there. Oh, that's horrible English. You can use it to analyze, read, and master your palm lines and palm fingers without knowing anything about hand reading.
What the heck?
There's zero curation on that one at all.
Is it like a training manual for astrologists?
I hope so, because I'm going to get my diploma of palm reading. Phobos Vector Prime, the first ring, PS4 digital. Pipe, PS4 digital. Oh, that's actually it's okay. No, it's want me back. It says so. Pipe is a physics-based BMX experience designed to simulate realistic BMX motion, perform over 50 aerial stunts, grind any corner, and get big air in the pipe. Hoping it's like a skate, but for BMX. I doubt
okay.
it, but
We'll see.
Well, I'm not going to check it out. I want to, but I won't. Resonance of Fate 4K HD edition, PS4 digital. Riot Civil Unrest, PS4 digital. And I'm not sure that's the correct picture. It's a really low res version. I'm undecided at this point.
I think it's just pixel art.
Okay, cool. Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption, PS4 digital. Soul Calibur 6, PS4 digital and retail, introducing the newest entry in the Soul Calibur series. Experience all new gameplay mechanics with the most beautiful graphics the weapons-based fighting genre has ever seen. Having not played a Soul Calibur game since Soul Blade on the PS1, keen as fuck.
Yeah. Where were you for 2, 3, 4, and 5?
I didn't have a Dreamcast, and then I didn't buy it on PS3 because I was poor.
Right.
Back then.
So this is the first PS4 version.
I believe so, yeah.
There you go.
Starlink Battle for Atlas, PS4 digital and retail. That's that Toys to Life game from the Ubisofts. The Hunter, one word. Call of the Wild 2019 edition. Warriors Orochi 4, PS4 digital and retail. And that is it.
There you go.
Standouts for this week, probably your Soul Calibur 6, your Atlas, Starlink potentially, and
2K Playgrounds.
And palm reading. It has to be. Paul James says Sinner is a really good Souls-inspired boss battler where you have less at your disposal with each encounter.
Ooh, that's an interesting way to play it.
Look at fucking Paul with all his knowledge of the things.
That makes sense in some ways. Like most games, the enemies get harder, you become more powerful. But I can see like some...
The appeal of it going the other way.
Yeah,
cool.
It's like you start off with, I don't know, maybe you have a machine gun, and by the end of it, you've only got a knife.
Oh.
And then you got to take out
pencil.
the boss with a pencil. Yeah.
That I'd like to see. But anyway, thank you very much for coming around, Jono, and being the replacement Josh.
It's all right. I'm sure Josh will be back next week.
Well, that's the plan. We'll be back next week, and then is it the week after being PAX? I'm not sure what we'll be doing. We'll very likely have an episode go up on the Monday. It'll probably just be our overthoughts of PAX. Overthoughts is not what it's called. And depending on where Josh is, it may be Josh or it may be Joel Grelton from Anagame because he's staying in my house.
Yeah.
And if Josh is like, I don't do it, I'm like, hey Joel, you're here currently. You didn't pay any rent. Come do a show.
I'm sure he'd love to.
He'd be more than happy to.
Appearance number 2 for him.
Yeah, appearance number 2 for him. Yeah. So where can they find you?
You can find me all the time over at Jono himself on the social medias, mostly Twitter. And Puttin in Work goes up every Thursday. That's my podcast, part of the 8-Bit Collective.
Powered by Audio Technica.
Over at 8bit.net. And yeah, stay tuned.
Even the hat's comfy.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Yeah. Stay tuned for some big news from 8-Bit coming up, and of course all the PAX content's going to be massive, so a lot to look forward to, and yeah, especially those panels that I'm fortunate to be part of. So come and say hi at PAX if you see Ryan or myself, I guess, because we'll be there, and it's always fun to meet people that listen and watch these things.
Yeah, because I assume no one watches or listens, so when I'm like, hey, what's your show? I'm like, get the fuck out, really?
Like, yeah, I watched it for 5 seconds.
I saw it once. You seem like that guy that did a thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. But anyway, that conversation took place at 9 a.m. on YouTube and 8 a.m. on podcast services every Monday. If you like what we do, head over to facebook.com/group/popculturist where our PopC community hangs out and does things. And I really wish I knew how to do this, but this is totally Josh's thing. And if you want to support us even further, head over to patreon.com/popculturists where you can find all the tiers. Maybe there's something there that interests you. And if you are a supporter on Patreon at any level, you can watch us record this live, like Paul James did. The beautiful Paul James.
Paul just has to jump in here. He's not even a guest today, but he's made himself part of the show.
Yeah, he's managed to way to like slither himself in. I'm very proud of him, actually. And if you want to show the love of the Pop Culturist on your body, head over to popculturist.com/shop where you can buy shirts like this one. You can phone cases like this one. And we are currently working on some Fallout themed attire to drop around the release of the game for funsies. And we are on Twitch at twitch.tv/popculturist where you can give us biddies and follow and subscribe and all shit. Watch us play games over there because YouTube is kind of poos for game streaming.
There you go.
But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Jono himself.
And that was for the players.